Betsy, Joe Biden was asked by Jake Tapper about the possibility of recession. Technically, 2 negative quarters of GDP growth means recession. We've used that metric since the Great Depression. What is a slight recession?
You got me. That's a political term for sure. But we are in a recession because during the first quarter, GDP declined by 1.6%, second quarter 0.9%. So we can see that it's a steady downward trend. Now, it's unfortunate. Nobody wishes a recession on this country, but denying it doesn't help.
Yeah, TW, what do you make of it? Because interest rates are extremely high, and they are predicted to go up even more. Gas prices keep going up now, although they went down for a little bit. Prices at the grocery store, people are struggling. But what do you make of the slight recession remark?
Well, I always go back to my hero, Ronald Reagan, who said it best. He said it's a recession when your neighbor loses their job, but it's a depression when you lose your job. And when you look at the job reports, when you look at the economy as a whole, it's in a free fall right now. And it's not by hopping circumstance. It is directly tied to the Biden administration's loose handling of this economy, continuing to flood the market with liquidity. You've got the feds who continued to pump liquidity into the market well into this year. And that is a direct reason why we're seeing a recession right now. And the fact that the president is denying it, it goes back and it harkens back. I mentioned this last time, but it reminds me when the president also said he didn't think that the Taliban was going to take over in Afghanistan. Well, look at where we are a year later. This president is out of touch, and frankly, he is out of reality when it comes to not just what's happening domestically, but also internationally around the globe.
Let me jump in and just say that the one biggest cause of this recession is Joe Biden's energy policy, which has literally pumped up the price of energy so much and caused such scarcity. And that energy cost is invading every aspect of our economy, depressing manufacturing, pushing up the cost of everything Americans buy.
Yeah, and look at gas prices.
Right.
I mean, we talked about gas prices in the spring. They were going up. They went down for 99 straight days. Okay, but they were never where they were on Inauguration Day, $2.39 for a gallon of gas the day that Joe Biden took office. Right now, the national average is $3.92. That's up 25 cents in 3 weeks. And this is right before an election. Doesn't happen every cycle, but this is going to affect the way that a lot of people vote. Let's go to Pennsylvania right now, this Dr. Oz, John Fetterman race. Right now, according to a Real Clear Politics poll, Fetterman still has a 4-point lead. Now, that's within the margin of error,
right.
But I don't know if voters just haven't totally tuned in. We're still a month away, but here is, and this is MSNBC, by the way. This is not Newsmax calling balls and strikes. This is an MSNBC reporter talking about what it was like sitting down for an interview with somebody who wants to be governor of one of the biggest, most important states in our country. Take a listen.
We had a monitor set up so that he could read my questions because he still has lingering auditory processing issues as a result of the stroke, which means he has a hard time understanding what he's hearing. Now, once he reads the question, he's able to understand. You'll hear he also still has some problems, some challenges with speech. Just in some of the small talk prior to the interview, before the closed captioning was up and running, it did seem that he had a hard time understanding our conversation.
Okay, that's really serious. And we wish, of course, John Fetterman a speedy recovery. This man's in his early 50s. This is not an old guy. He should be focused on his recovery. This is somebody you wouldn't hire to work at a shoe store, let alone to work 6 years as a United States Senator. Is it time, TW, you just ran for the Senate in Oklahoma, is it time that Pennsylvanians start to ask real serious questions about this guy's health? Is he fit to serve?
Well, let's be clear. The bar has been lowered on cognitive ability based on who's in the White House.
No, TW, no. Let's keep it on. Let's keep it on Fetterman. Honestly, and I know Joe Biden's going to be 80 years old next month, and that's a conversation we can have. This is really serious now.
It is a serious issue. I mean, when we're talking about who's going to lead a state, the executive, who's basically going to be the commander in chief of that state, and they're having problems understanding basic, simple questions that are being asked for reporters. I mean, that's a very serious issue. And that should, for that very sentiment alone, that should disqualify him from being the nominee for the Democrats, but it didn't. The Democrats knew who they were electing. They knew the issues when he ran and when they voted for him in the primary. And this is just it. But the question becomes, why is Dr. Oz having such a hard time in Pennsylvania?
Good point.
That's the question that we should be asking. What are the mechanics of his campaign that are causing his delay in the polls?
And aside from the health, Fetterman's energy policies are going to cost Pennsylvanians thousands and thousands of jobs. It's time for Pennsylvanians to wake up and realize they're not going to have money to pay their bills.
One of the biggest energy states in the country, and he wants to lay off 600,000 people who work in the fracking industry. Day one, 600,000 people.
So I guess my question is, what is it? Is it the spending? Is it the advertising? Why is he ahead in the polls?
It's got to be that sweatshirt he wears, that hoodie, right? That's in.
I mean, this is. I just think this is. And you want to talk about fine. You know, his health is a serious issue. Yes. He's allegedly going to debate Dr. Oz October the 25th. From his campaign, this is from the Fetterman campaign. The candidate needs to use closed captioning during interviews and debates because he cannot understand and process questions, so it helps him to read the questions. This is somebody trying to join the most exclusive club on the planet, the United States Senate. Is this person fit for that job? I think Pennsylvanians need to look at that long and hard over the next 27 days before they go out and vote. The problem is half of the people out there have already voted. Absentee balloting it's already happened. And people don't, you know, how often do you really say, all right, I want to pull back my vote because I'm learning more about the candidate? You know,
so much can happen.
It's very cynical of the Democratic
weeks.
Party not to substitute another candidate.
And here's the reality. If you're running for U.S. Senate, which these two clearly are, the truth is Americans are hungry for conservative leadership. And the reason Dr. Oz is having a challenge and a problem in the polls is because he's yet to define how he's a conservative. I think that's where he needs to focus these last few weeks of his Senate campaign.
Yeah, he wants to release a third of all prisoners in Pennsylvania, too, on day one. How about that for policy?